how much DC stuff do we have?
We have a lot of DC stuff.
There's a lot of DC stuff. And, for me, because I'm not really into this whole DC thing.
Yeah.
We have a lot of DC stuff.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to tell you. There's, as crazy as it is, there's less DC stuff than there is the Marvel and the Legends that are out there.
Oh my God, yeah.
But the DC stuff that is out there are all different. I mean, you pretty much, 6-inch Marvel Legend, Black Series. Mm-hmm. It's all pretty much in that family. Are you gonna ever? I don't know that they've announced any more of the 12-inch Legends at this point.
No, I don't think they have. I don't think they have for next year. I think that's something we'll see in Toy Fair.
Yeah, you've got the Oddball Sentinel set, and those guys. But DC, between collectibles, Diamond Select, the Multiverse, you've got a nice smattering of nerddom.
Well, I think with DC too, Marvel has pretty much stayed. There's not a knock on track. Where DC, we have Infinite Earths, and we have different realities. We've had relaunches of New 52. All those things. We have cartoons, movies, comic books. We have television. So we have a lot of different interpretations, and we're really going to get into that with Soups here, because immediately, what's staring at us now, there's a difference here on the back.
Yeah, and what scares me is I know that I'm gonna open this and then I'm gonna be way too into these gallery statues, because now that I can see one that's in the DC vein that I like, it's
well, the neat thing about these is, and it's a little bit of a plug, GameStop has these.
Yes,
they have a Diamond Select has a really good deal with GameStop. And, I mean, I was just at one yesterday, and I saw 3 or 4 of them, and I was like, oh, wow. And they were like, it was a good sale, and I was like, you know what? Solid.
They're
not hard to find.
No, they're not hard to find. And there's... The other funny thing about catching this stuff at GameStop, and I've been reading this more and more on the page, is... It's so funny how, the podunk GameStop in the middle of nowhere has some of the, collectibles people can't find.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you've got so much stuff that they carry there, because you've got horror figures, you've got NECA, you've got Diamond Select, you've got Hasbro, Mattel.
And you can luck out, because if you hit a 50-50, which is half half GameStop, if you hit one of the non-ones that have just a little bit of stuff, people won't go in there, and all of a sudden... I was at one yesterday, and I found 2 Adam West Batman belts. Yeah. 2! And I was like, wait a minute, what?
And of course, I don't remember the name, but there's something better than a 50-50. There's something now called a headline store or something, where it is more collectibles than games.
I'll put it here at the bottom.
And I'm pretty sure that it's the Montgomeryville location that we go to all the time, because that's where I heard about it.
Oh, those guys that said always come in on Wednesday, because that's when the sales are and stuff. Yeah. Well, we're off track.
Yeah.
Which is
like usual.
Tangent. So, Diamond Select was gracious enough to send us 2 different, very different. Well, we have Batman, the animated series, Ra's al Ghul.
Statue bust.
Yeah, statue bust. And then we have Superman here. And I'm interested in getting into the Superman. Ra's al Ghul, I absolutely love. The character, this look, played by David Warner. But the Superman is already... Now, let's flip it around here. We have the classic Superman, but then we have the New 52 Superman on the box.
Yeah, so that's why I was
let's get into him first.
I was a little confused by that, because when I first grabbed the box, you're drawn to the New 52.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, okay, and then you go right down to the other artwork.
I'm not knocking that Superman, but I don't like this whole collar thing.
No, the collar thing's weird.
I just don't get the collar thing. You lost our cutter already.
Yeah, of course it did. And, there you go. The thing about this kind of...
I found the booze.
Yeah, no, there's booze. The thing about those bands is, unfortunately, it reminds me of the horrible Superman suit from Supergirl, which I can't get over.
I don't mind Supergirl. He's actually going to be on the big crossover.
Oh, really?
And they said it besides Batwoman, that being her backdoor pilot, there is talk of a Superman TV show with him. Really? So would you watch it with him?
No.
See, I like it that Superman is that side character right now.
Insert on the inside.
I like that Superman is a side character on Supergirl, because I think she's solid as her own show, and I like that every once in a while cousin comes in, they go off on a bigger adventure, or she needs that extra punch because she's taking on somebody else that may be out of her league at this point, though really, how could it be out of her league?
The problem that I have with doing a Superman-only TV show today is that he's Superman. So, the only... unless you're going to bring Dean Cain back, okay, and you're going to give me, which was really a Superman where what you were worrying about was more the relationships and not who was he going to fight. That's where we are today. Well, it's going to be big scene after big scene, and I mean, how many characters you really
See, something it always fascinated me about Superman is the day to day. J. Michael Straczynski wrote a story where he just walked. He wanted to walk and just interact.
Give me that as a show. I want a Superman show.
But see, that's not sexy for the non-super fan.
I don't care. I don't
care.
But
Smallville. He didn't fly.
Huh?
It was Smallville.
Yeah, but he still was Superman. I want to see him just all day. Like, something falls right next to him. He could save it. He doesn't. Because he's Clark Kent at the time.
Okay.
Just a really mundane show.
Well,
The Office with Superman.
So, the Daily Planet with Superman shot in the style of The Office.
You now like this.
I like this.
I caught you when I hit you with The Office.
Because how are you Clark Kent and like all of a sudden you hear like a 4-alarm fire and you're like, I really got to finish this deadline, or I can't leave this meeting at this moment because I've left the last 5 meetings. And I'm like, oh, gotta go. You're like, oh, there he goes again. And all of a sudden, whoosh, he goes by. Oh, there goes Superman. Where's Clark?
All right, we're going to get back to this,
yes.
But now we have to flesh this out. So in the DC Daily Planet, The Office TV show, what character is Superman? Is he Dwight? He's not Michael Scott.
No, that's Perry White.
And Jim's a little too antagonistic.
No, he's Creed.
Creed.
He's Creed.
He's Creed.
He's Creed.
Yeah, that's good.
Creed Bratton. He was really in a band.
Yes, he was.
Oh my God! Google that on YouTube.
And they play his music in one of the episodes.
It will weird you out. I spent a day looking for all of his songs on YouTube. It was crazy. So,
this is cool.
I'm just looking from the back, and I think it's awesome. And I didn't even see his face.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. The swoop in the back. You've even got the kind of 3D where you can feel it on the Superman. It's not just painted in.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice. Has a little bit of a give, which is good because sometimes you get the wrong friend and all of a sudden it breaks off a piece.
And is we thinking like Apocalypse?
I was just going to ask that question.
Right?
I think it's Apocalypse.
I think it is.
I think the base is awesome. Like this flame coming out, and then
really
even
cool.
went so far as to give us like little bits of like. What do you think? It's like lava rocks? Or you think it's like part of shadows, or it's like it's bubbles?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's really, really cool.
Well, and even the dripping lava that you call coming down, kind of the rocks here. It's not just the single paint app. It's layered paint. So
well, this could be part of it too. Art Asylum.
Okay.
I mean, back in the day, Art Asylum used to have some fantastic Star Trek toys.
Well, now
that they
is
did.
this just a postcard?
And I'm guessing. I think it's
like
like a postcard, but I think it's. Let's look at the box again. It might be under, like the Art Asylum, like.
Oh, here we go.
Maybe not.
Here's where the sickness begins, folks.
Dude, we have it was designed by Sean Knapp and sculpted by Joe Mina, as in Menna. So this is a PVC diorama of Superman based on his appearance from DC Comics.
Yeah.
So
this is cool.
By the way, we didn't even talk about the box. I think this is great. This window box.
But look at it.
The light from the top, so that you can actually, if you don't take them out of the box, but
I would probably display it like this because of the logo underneath. Because you got the Superman then. It's cool.
Yeah. This is
and
fantastic.
Anyway, we're gonna leave it kind of like this and block us because then we can, see a little bit more of the actual sculpt.
Well, it's also this like catches light.
The boots are great.
And he's even got like a little tiny heel right here, which is you think, you wouldn't really have to put that on there because it's not actually functional, but it adds an extra level to it.
I'm not happy about this.
What?
I'm not happy.
You're not. What's in that book? What's in that book?
Oh no, not even.
Well, this doesn't have Art Asylum anywhere on here on the case.
So you've got.
What?
Okay, animated series, front and back. We got the bus on the back, but and I've convinced myself not to buy the bus because they're
these are banks. These are banks.
Banks.
Oh wait, no, there's banks.
Yeah, there's bus.
There's banks over here. And then
But
there's resin busts over here.
I did not know that there were full
look at that Talia.
Yeah. I love Hawk Girl. I don't know why.
Hawk
it's
Girl
so simple.
On the Justice League Unlimited.
It's a great arc.
It's a fantastic storyline.
Wow, and we've got an Entertainment Earth exclusive, which is Talia al Ghul, which I actually think I've seen that one before. But what do we got? Action Figure Express exclusive? What is that?
Wait,
why don't we know about it?
I've seen that logo.
We're gonna check.
I've been around Comic Cons as long as I have.
Action Figure Junkies. Come on.
I wish. We're working on exclusives.
All right, so we're gonna spin this so that we can just really admire it. Yeah,
I mean, he's got
what's
this
the price
great.
on this? It's less than $50.
I think he's around. I'll put it at the bottom. I think he's somewhere between 60 and 70.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but again, like we've been saying, and this is not a knock on the product, but GameStop likes to move their product. So there's a good chance you could find one of these at a GameStop, and maybe they're having a sale or something. You might.
Oh yeah.
But I think I've actually seen it at GameStop recently. So it's a solid.
Look at the. I mean,
you have a Superman fan this Christmas. I don't think you could top this as a gift.
No, this is. There's one other DC Collectibles Superman statue that's out, and I'll give you the photo. So
we'll put it up. I'll put it up.
That's really really cool. But this is awesome. The body style is awesome. The face kind of like he's 1 second away from obliterating you with his lasers.
Right.
You know. Yeah. Okay. Shout out.
Yeah.
Diamond Select.
That's fantastic.
And DC
fantastic.
Comics, Diamond Select, as always, blown away.
Woo. Okay, so shout out to our contact at Diamond Select, Zach.
Zach, thank you
was
again.
gracious enough to send us. We wanted some more Batman, the animated series stuff, and he said, "Would you be interested in Raj Al Ghul?" And I said, "Of course." And then so we have number 54 of 3,000.
Sweet. We gave away. Did we give away a Raj Al Ghul before? No,
we did not.
No, he was the one that we didn't have.
Right. This was. Now, as Raj Al Ghul goes, he's voiced by David Warner, who's one of my all-time favorite actors. He is a. Where's that little thingy that we had to cut? If you've seen Time After Time, he plays Jack the Ripper. He plays the Klingon ambassador in Star Trek VI that's assassinated. He's an all-around just fantastic character actor. He's in my favorite episode of Star Trek, which is Chain of Command. He plays the Cardassian who tortures Picard.
Is that Kim or
what? It's Chloe. So, to get a bust of that character, I thought was a great thing. Never turned down a chance, and we did so many of these. We did Mr. Freeze.
They're awesome.
But we've been contacted by people on YouTube about the Mr. Freeze, and he's apparently very hard to get.
Really? Okay.
I sent links to him, and he said, "Yeah, they've been on sale there for like ever." Little nervous on that sword.
Yeah, that's sharp.
That sword makes me nervous.
It's the animated series stuff. How do you know? Oh wow,
he's solid too. Yeah,
he's got weight to him. I need this. This is cool.
54 of 3,000. 54 of 3,000. We did not get an artist proof or Associated Press proof.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
I wonder what the S18 is. Entertainment Inc. S18. I have to look that up. This is really cool, guys. And, you know, I mean...
Detective.
It's cool. It's, you know, I mean, Batman the Animated Series, I don't know what... Other than the fact that it's great. I mean, you know what I mean? And a lot of people today, this was some of their first introductions to Batman.
I think well, yeah, you're right, but I think it flushed out a lot of the rogues gallery that really wasn't in the 66 TV show, which for a lot of us was just repeated over and over and over again, like in different channels.
And what I think at least the show did was it wasn't about all the cool tech that the bad guys could have. Mm-hmm. They didn't all have to be dark and gritty like everything we see on TV today. It was bright, solid colors, and could the art style have been sharper? Maybe, but it was great storytelling. And that storytelling, I think, drove the whole show. Because the way that Batman gets fleshed out, all the little things that you learn, you get a feel for each of these characters. There's not a moment where any of the rogues gallery doesn't get that humanizing moment throughout. Clayface gets it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everybody knows Mr. Freeze's story.
Oh, and he's only in like, I think it's like 6 episodes or something. So everybody thinks like, oh, Freeze is one of these characters. He's in all the episodes.
Man-Bat's great.
Yeah, Man-Bat actually starts the show. He's the first episode.
Is he?
Man-Bat. Yeah. And we're at New York Comic Con. We got a chance to sit in and be with the cast. And Lauren Lester, who plays Nightwing and Robin, he said it wasn't a great TV show. It was a great movie because the characters had time to develop.
Yeah.
And they had arcs, and especially his character because we went from Robin to Nightwing.
Yeah.
And one of my fellow journalists, when we were there, he pointed it out that no other TV series has done that. That Robin then became Nightwing, and then there was another Robin after that. So we actually got to see the character grow up and the dynamic change between him and Batman. So, so quick trivia for you. What is the moment in which Batman knows that Ra's al Ghul has set him up in his first episode? It's like, I think it's like a 2-parter.
So you got, it's on you.
Like his bodyguard always lets Ra's al Ghul go first, except towards the end, where he doesn't stop Batman from walking into a door first, and that's when he knows that it's all been a setup up to that point, because the bomb's going to go off or whatever it is. So.
Favorite animated series episode?
Oh, that's too hard to. There are so many, but the first one that really stands out to me is actually a Ra's al Ghul episode, because it was the first time I saw Jonah Hex. I had no idea who this character was. Here you had David Warner playing Ra's al Ghul. They were telling the story about this old man, and the whole story went back to the Old West. And there was this character in the episode, who I can't remember right away, but the actor was played by Malcolm McDowell. So here you had Malcolm McDowell, who played H.G. Wells in Time After Time, going up against Ra's al Ghul, who played by David Warner, played Jack the Ripper. So for me, that was just like, but it was a whole introduction to this character. I'm like, where the F is Batman in this episode? And it was this Old West. It had the big dirigible with all the cannons and everything. It was just crazy bonkers, and I was sucked into it so quick.
That kind of run that the animated series had to the New Adventures, to Justice League Unlimited, there are some just really great stories that are told in that series.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond the stories, it was a real, like, oh, wow. What I love about the comic books, we could put on TV. It's not just, oh, look at Superman blew this up with his eyes, or Batman defeated Joker. There's really great stories. There's the Grey Ghost story.
Oh,
there's the
who's having a DC collectible?
Yes, which I'm shaking. I'm so excited. What's the the Batman the robot that Hardak that's built to be Batman. He realizes and I look at a tear.
Yeah,
I'm almost tear.
It's crazy. It's
very
crazy
good.
how good that show was.
Yeah.
And it's out now on Blu-ray. If you get the limited edition from Warner Brothers, or from, I think, as long as you get the limited edition, you get the digital download of every episode for your computer, your mobile device, whatever you need it to be. And that's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, I'm upset now because I bought the whole series on Apple so I could have it, and now it's like, oh man, I could have got it and got the digital, but it had something physical. I think the cool thing about this is, again, if you're into this thing, you have this, at your house.
Cape's awesome.
Oh, it's really cool. And, one of your friends walks by, or somebody who's there, and the next thing you know, you're 45 minutes into talking about Batman, and you're like, oh, my wife's friend's husband that I never wanted to hang out with before. When are we going to see them again?
Exactly.
You know?
It's a nice icebreaker, like you said.
It's
a nice
cool.
icebreaker. And all of these busts, I'd say this was probably the only one that was kind of generic. But I mean, what are you going to do for Ra's al Ghul? Give him a globe?
Yeah.
Put the earth on him or something.
Coming out of the pit.
But it's got that great, coming out of the pit would have been good. But he's not in that pit mode. He's clearly ready to take over the world.
Favorite Ra's al Ghul on TV or in a movie?
It'd have to be David Warner. But I mean, you're going up against Liam Neeson.
And the guy from The Arrow. He was actually serviceable as Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, I'm not into the Arrow thing. It's just Batman, but he's green. I'd like to be, but I appreciate the show launching the Flash and the whole Arrow universe. It's just, I think it might be time for Arrow to disappear for a while.
Yeah,
Because what do we get? Season 8?
Steep.
You know,
Steep
it's deep. So I mean, how many times before you start repeating yourself?
Well, you gotta what's if DC gives that up? What else are they gonna have? You know, I mean,
well, they have the Flash, and Batwoman, and
yeah,
Supergirl.
but the Flash, I'd almost argue that I'm better served with the Arrow than I am with watching another season of the Flash where he created his own problem,
which seemed to happen again this season.
Yeah, I know. So they've already pretty much called it. So, you know, final things. Diamond Select, as always. Thank you.
Amazing.
Awesome stuff. We've done some small criticisms of other, during reviews that for other companies, but I don't know that we've ever had, one thing that we've had to call out or a consistent problem with them. And they've been nothing but great with us, so we appreciate it. Catch us on Facebook.
Yes.
Corporate page. If you're into this thing, check out the Facebook group. Instagram, YouTube.
Subscribe on our YouTube page, please.
Give us a like, write us a comment.
We respond.
Yeah. Bob mostly responds.
Yeah, we respond. I'm shocked that sometimes that people are like asking us in-depth questions or, telling me that I got that figure somewhere else so easy. And I was just like, oh great.
My favorite is when they argue.
I didn't get that
There
figure.
was one guy that was just really into the music.
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
Yeah, he asked us the music, and we get our music, and we always credit the artist, it definitely in the post, maybe not in the video itself, but definitely in the post, and on our website.
Website, Twitter, not really Twitch.
Trying to figure that out.
Yeah. So Bob and T-shirt guy.
Yeah. Bob and T-shirt guy. You're the T-shirt guy.
T-shirt guy.
You're the T-shirt guy. All right, now where did this